Hi everyone, it's Ron here at Simmod Lens. Today I'm going to walk you through the installation process and how to install your CY or Contax Contax Zeiss lenses from CY native to LPL using our new LPL conversion system. We have two lenses here in the frame. On the left here we have a Contax 35 f1.4 that's already been converted to EF using our sim mount EF conversion system. And we have a Contax 135 f2.8 that is still in its native mount that's not been converted yet. Let's start with the lens that has not yet been converted. The first thing we do is we need to make sure that you have the proper screwdriver or the correct screwdriver to remove the GIS screws that are installed onto this lens. The one that we recommend is made by Moody Tools. A 2.5 millimeter screwdriver is what you need, and just to make sure it is a GIS. There's usually a lot of thread lock that was applied onto these screws from the factory, so you may want to use a soldering iron to heat up the screws before you attempt to remove them so that you don't strip the screws. In this particular lens, we will remove 3 of the 4 screws. It's important to note that we do not want to remove the native mount. So the native mount always remains intact and we never remove it. Leaving that 4th screw in makes sure that the native mount and everything underneath it does not get moved around. So once we have those 3 screws removed, remember 3 of the 4, let's take a look at the LPL conversion kit that we have. Depending on the lens that you have, you will receive a narrow, AE, or wide version of the LPL mount. This one happens to be narrow for this particular lens. Once we open the box, you'll note that we will have in the bag replacement screws, the LPL ring or tube, and the LPL mount itself. It comes in 2 pieces. Once you install the mount on the lens, you will need to install this LPL tube, which gets screwed in using the threads, but we'll do that after. First thing you'll do is align this notch here with the tab that goes inside this notch on the lens. So it's this tab will go into this notch, and by doing so you will also make sure that you now have aligned all the holes. So once we have that aligned, we'll just simply take the replacement screws that we provide. There's 4 screws in the bag, but you will only need 3. You simply install the screws. We do recommend a medium strength thread lock so that the screws do not come loose. So once you have that installed, you'll just screw in the LPL tube onto the lens or onto the LPL mount by the thread that's already there. And there you have it, a Contax converted to LPL. Now let's work on one that's already been converted to EF. It's very simple. The process is the same. You basically remove the EF mount that's already on there and you replace it with the LPL mount. As you can see here, the same process applies. The 4th screw, which is the screw closest to this pin here or the tab, gets left in so that the mount and everything underneath it does not get disturbed. Once we've done that, let's take a look at the LPL kit. Again, you get the shims, replacement screws, and the LPL mount and LPL tube that comes in it. Now it's important to note that the mount comes assembled like so for packaging, but once you install it, you literally have to flip it and screw in this portion instead. This allows you a 55mm thread to filter from the rear. Alright, once we've done that, let's identify the pin that's on the lens. And we'll align that pin with this hole here, which that pin will go in like so. Once you've got that pin inside that hole, you basically do a minor adjustment so that the screw holes are aligned to the LPL mount, and basically remove the replacement screws from the packaging that we sent you and install the screws. It's actually as simple as that. Again, we do recommend a thread lock on each screw. And there you have it. We'll screw in the LPL tube. And now it's a fully converted CY Contax Zeiss to LPL lens.